and welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing an organizational product review. So this is basically all the products that you saw me organizing with in 2020, and I'm just doing an organizational product review on those just to share with you what has and hasn't been working. So basically the cons and pros of these products, so you know whether to purchase these if you were thinking about purchasing these, or if you are new to my channel, this is a really great overview of some of the things that I do on this channel. I also do home decorating and cleaning as well on this channel. So I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please give a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn those notification bells on so you don't miss another video. So the first review is going to be in my car. So my car is actually at the repairers at the moment, but I'm just going to run through some of the products that have and haven't been working. So the first two products that have worked really well are the visor organizers. So these are amazing quality and they're in really easy to access spots for me, and they've just been working really well for me and have been really easy to maintain and get to while I'm driving. The next area is the car boot. So I actually use this SUV car organizer to organize my boot because the big bulky one that I did have from Kmart was taking up all the space in my boot. So basically all I've done is I have used some Velcro strips to stick that up, and I've just tucked it under. It's like it sort of comes off the bit of the back of the car, so I've just tucked it under there and clipped it back in. So that has worked really amazingly for me, and it hasn't fallen down at all. It's been really good. So the things that haven't worked in my car. One is the car rubbish bins. So I did buy a file organizer rather than a normal conventional car rubbish bin for my car, and I did Velcro that with the Velcro dots to my car, and it just kept falling off. So the size of it was great because I was able to use it for like coffee cups and bottles of drink and stuff like that. So the size of it was amazing, but it just kept falling off. So I did end up putting that in the back seat of the car. I haven't stuck it down with anything, and it usually doesn't fall over at all. So that does work really well because I can just lean over and put it straight into the bin. The bin that I put in Talia's seat there, that has been working really well, and it's been so good that she's able to have that responsibility and able to keep her car seat clean and her area clean, because often the bottom of the floor got really dirty, and sometimes if I didn't get to it in time, I would find moldy bits of food. So it was all sorts of nastiness in the back seat there, as you could imagine. So that has worked really well for us. Another product that hasn't worked well for us in the back seat is the organizer that I put on the back seat of the driver's seat, which is on the back seat right next to her seat. Yes, that's the one. So it has not worked well for us. It just keeps falling. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to just try and like add a bit more string or something to it and try and get it to stay on better. But yeah, that just keeps like it's staying on the top, but the sides of it aren't actually staying on, and it's just like hanging there and it's just gathering together. It's not actually sitting nicely on the seat like a proper organizer like it's supposed to be doing. So that is one of the things that I probably wouldn't buy again. So I am going to try and jimmy it up and make it work, but can't guarantee that's going to work. So yeah, I probably wouldn't buy that product again. So now I'm just going to take you around my house and show you some of the other organizational products that I did put in place and if they've worked or not. Mind you, some of these places are not immaculately clean. So I'm actually trying to do all my Christmas cooking and stuff like that because I'm actually recording this on Christmas Eve. So just mind it isn't the cleanest, but it is an honest to God review of my place and how it's held up. So let's go and check it out. Okay, I'm just going to start in my kitchen area. So I'm not actually going to show you the kitchen because I did just do a kitchen tour, and everything in my kitchen tour has worked really well for me. I've had that product system in place for years. So if you want to see something that is tried and tested through and through, then definitely go and check that video out. So this is some of the organizational systems that I've put in place in my pantry this year and some of the cons and pros. Okay, so I know you've seen all this space before, so I'm not going to, you know, go through it with you again, but basically I put this in place, and this is a magnet board from Officeworks, and then I've purchased some of these spice containers. So this has worked really well. This has been holding up really well, these magnet boards, but these ones, which are like the funny shaped on the top, it's like the circular shape, they can get really stiff. Like if there's a bit of spices caught like in between like the turning mechanism, they're stiff and you cannot open them. So to be honest, I wouldn't purchase those again. I'm not sure about these ones because the ones that I have in these, I've only got like 2 in them and I don't really use those very often, so I'm not sure, but these ones here might be better. But yeah, just read your reviews, guys, and see before you purchase anything like this. The rack system itself works great for a small kitchen. I still would prefer my drawer with the spices that I had, but obviously I can't do it in this tiny, tiny kitchen, if you see my tiny kitchen tour. So the other thing that I put in place was this file organizer. So this is for my beeswax wraps and my reusable bags, and this is working really well. So the only problem with it is, which I'll close the door and you'll see, I cannot open this door first. I have to open this one, or I have to open them together. So it's just something that I've had to get used to, but I don't regret it because this is just working so well that it doesn't bother me at all. The other thing that hasn't worked is the menu board thing that I did buy. It's up here because it just keeps falling off. So that's an easy fix. I'll just have to find some different glue for it. But yeah, that is just that area. Okay, so now we are in Talia's room. So I did do a whole entire video on this organization. So if you do want to see it, then go and check it out again. So this is just what has and hasn't been working for me in this room. The bunting's fallen off, so I need to get to that. These still work really well. You can see they're pretty full. I probably do need to have a bit of a declutter, to be really honest, but they have been working really well with all the signs on there, and you know, using it as a linen closet as well in here. And then she's got a spare doona in here. So the only downfall of these is obviously they're just one set size, so you can't go and get any extra things that are going to go outside that unless you make an extra tub, which we don't have enough room for an extra tub, as you can see. So the only drama we've had is she's got too many skirts. But I'll be really honest, if I open this up, there's so much in here that she doesn't wear that I could probably just declutter. So that might be a little job for me to do when I've got this next few days off over Christmas, or I might end up doing that if I get bored. The other thing is in this cupboard. So as you can see, this has changed a little bit because we did end up getting rid of the Space Saver coat hanger thing. So I will show you what I did do with those because I did end up reusing them. But basically they didn't work for me because I was too lazy to upkeep it. So if you did see the video, I basically put it there. So then each outfit would be on a Space Saver, and I could just hold the outfit up to her and say, you know, do you want to wear this one or do you want to wear this one? Because she was the most, or is the most fussiest child when it comes to, you know, what to wear and stuff like that. So it was just a way of me saving time in the morning, but it was a lot for me to upkeep, to just keep putting those on the coat hangers because I am a very busy person. So I did end up just getting rid of that system, but I have reused it. So I will show you where I have done that. This is basically where we've got all of our dollies and stuff at the moment because we've got our Christmas tree here in her room. And this area here is just full of cat hair. It's disgusting. So it needs a really good clean, but I think because it's felt, it hasn't really held up well. So you can see all of our accessories are out of that and they're pretty much in this accessory drawer here. So that's chockers. It really needs to be gone through as well. And this is what I did end up doing with them. So these are just my dresses in my cupboard, and then in here I've got like costumes and stuff that I wear for work, in childcare. So things like this I barely wear. I barely wear dresses, guys, and I barely wear the costumes. So they go on the space savers in there, and they're just the forgotten about items that really, it doesn't need much maintenance at all, whereas the other ones needed like weekly maintenance. So that works really well for me now. Fridge area. I don't normally have anything on my fridge, but I have a lotto ticket, so I've kept that on there, but usually I don't have anything on there. I don't like anything on there, visually clutter. So this is what hasn't worked for me. So this is the fridge. I can honestly say this is actually really dirty at the moment too, by the way. I actually can honestly say that it has worked really, really well. Actually, that sauce isn't in the right spot. But yeah, it has worked really, really well, guys. I've got sauces there, I've got the drinks there, medication, which that isn't medication. And then up here, I normally have the lunches and food prep items there. So as you can see, there is a few things on the fridge. So this is the only downfall of the system, is that when I do my batch cook-ups, my bulk cook-ups, which I do probably once a month, I have to pull out all these little containers. So it's okay when I'm purchasing the things straight from the supermarket and on a normal everyday shop, because I can cut it up and put them in these. But when I'm doing my big bulk batch cook-ups, which is usually about a month's worth of food, I will have all this prepped food in here. So like a slow cooker with prepped food in there. Then I'll have another bowl with prepped food and another few bowls. You'll see it if you've watched my food. I did do a food batch cooking video. You would see what it looked like. So I had to pull all these organizers out because they just don't fit. Otherwise, it works so much better. I love the fact that I don't have to clean the fridge so much, because I just clean these out, and then often I can just wipe these down and I don't have to physically pull everything out, which is just such a pain in the butt, especially in this fridge niche, because you can see it's quite deep, so it's really hard to get this bottom one here out. So that is definitely something that has worked for me. Another thing that it worked for me is amazingly, so you can see that says defrosting and that side says meat. Definitely is the best thing I could have done, is to double label them with different labels on the back. So I've done the same thing with these as well. So I've got fruit on the back here and then veggies on the front. So I can always have things that are correct labeling, even though I haven't turned it around. I've just realized that. But yeah, I've always got the correct labeling on things then. So that has worked really, really well for me. The only other thing that hasn't worked well was this container up here. Now, I didn't actually show it in the video, but I did purchase it for this bottom crisper here. And it's actually a Tupperware, I think it's called the Vent Smart. And it's meant to fit 2 iceberg lettuces in it, or 2 cauliflowers. That's what the sales rep told me. It doesn't fit them in there. Okay, so it was a complete waste of money. So it pretty much has been living on top of here, because it does fit in here, but it's just, it doesn't fit what I want in here. So yeah, it doesn't really get used that much. So I don't know if I'll keep that one or not, or I'll end up selling it. But yeah, that's, if I can go back a bit, you can see all together what it really looks like. And yeah, as I said, I'm really happy with it. It has worked pretty well for us. So the other area that I have organized is the laundry in here. I'm actually not going to show it to you today. Everything in there does work. I had already had most of that organization in place, but it was just basically a couple of things in there that I needed to do, which I did share in the video with you, and I did a whole tour. So definitely go check that one out if you want to see more of that. I've got bag organizers, everything. So go and check out my organizational playlist if you do want to see more. And yeah, so basically that is pretty much it for today's video, and I will be doing one of these I think each year on just everything that I do for the year and all the products that I buy, just so you know whether they work or not basically. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, turn the notification bells on so you don't miss another video. If you do want to see more from me, check me out on Facebook and on Instagram, and I'll catch up with you guys next week for another video. Bye.